Okay guys, so we have the NK-180Pro here, and we're going to talk about taking this NK-180Pro and taking it all the way from box to boat. So the first thing we're going to know is, so this is for the NK-180Pro. These instructions are also going to be good for the NK-300, where we're going to have these guards that we have to remove. So this is the NK and how it comes to us out of the box. There are some extra pieces in there, like this bracket. We don't need that. In this whole box, the things you're going to want to get out of here are going to be the kill switch and the cord extension. Actually, no, the cord extension's right here. So really the kill switch is the main thing we're going to be looking at for out of here. For tools, a couple tools, we're going to need a Phillips head, a small flathead, a pair of pliers, and some wrenches. We're going to need a 7/16 set, so you can use two, one on each side, and then a 10 millimeter in either socket or wrenches. Yep. We only need the 10 for a second in this process. So the first thing we're going to want to do is take a look at our NK here. So it's going to slide everything else off to the side. Set our remote off to the side. So if we take a look here, we have our guards. We're going to have to slide those off the end of our cords. So the first thing is going to be unwrapping this guard here. Okay, now that we have our cord guard unwrapped, we can set it off to the side, and we just have these cords. I can see pretty easy so far. This is where we're going to take this plug and we're going to take it off. This is where the pliers come in handy, so just gently grab right here, and then we're going to take it and slide the sleeve back, and that's going to show us the plug. Now, this is a really easy process. If you look up inside there, you'll see the two prongs. What we're needing to do is just get up underneath, kind of push that back plate down, if you can see that. There's some great videos on YouTube too, specifically for these Anderson plugs. But what you're needing to do is release the top here. So as you can see, it kind of has a hook. That's what's sliding up and over the plate. So you just got to get the hook off of the plate. There you go. Slide it, and this comes off. Slide the guard off as well. There you go. So take this nut, loosen it up, slide it out. How you get around this is you just pull your positive, your negative, and there you go. Nut comes off. Next step is this guard here. I already loosened this guy up. This is where you use that 10 millimeter for. Take both of those screws off. You don't need this guard for your NuCanoe QuickConnect system. Okay, you want to work it up. It's probably one of the harder ones. So you're going to split it apart a little bit. And there you go. And just run it down the lines. You can, again, we don't need this for the QuickConnect. Set it off to the side. We don't need this guard either. And what you see is there's kind of these little like wear marks on the nut. You can tell like that's how they slid it on. So you just kind of line it up a little bit and give it a little bit of a pull. So you can get it all the way. And there you go. Again, you don't need this either for the QuickConnect system. Go ahead and discard that. We just need our motor here. So the last thing is going to be loosening up this guy. Actually, we don't need that. It has a nut holder on the backside. So just give that a loosen. Again, this is 10 millimeter here. This is another piece we don't need. We're just getting our motor out of here. Something that can help in this process is if you kind of pry it apart a little bit, you can slide it up and over. Okay, now that we have our NK-180Pro all stripped down and ready to go, it's time to grab the NuCanoe QuickConnect kit. So it's going to be the motor mount itself, the 7210, which is part of the mounting control kit. This is going to be the motor mount here. Comes with instructions inside it, which are great to follow, but we will go through a quick rundown here. This is our motor mount itself. It's a really easy install process. This bag is the HD kit. This is going to be used with the NK-300 or Torpedo 1103, some stuff with some more power behind it. What you basically do is you take this and you're going to be replacing this quick pin here to get some more tension, and your bottom nut is going to get replaced with this washer and locking nut. Go ahead and check the instructions out to see more details there. But for today, we're just going to install it like this. So you'll see right here, this is essentially where the shaft of the motor has to go. You're just going to be bringing it down and onto the shaft like that. So starting at the bottom, feed your cords up and in. Now if you, for some reason, still had your plug on the end, you could bring this all apart and pull the sandwich apart a little bit and put it in there, but this is going to be a lot easier. This is definitely the recommended way to go. So we'll go ahead and remove that plug and then just slide this right here, just like that. Okay, so as you can see, we now have the motor mount slid up onto our NK-180. And we're gonna go through here, go ahead and tighten these up. And we're gonna have a nice, ready to go motor mount NK-180Pro. Now we're gonna be able to adjust the depth of our motor by loosening this up, sliding the motor up and down. But it's a great thing to do once we get out in the water. You can kind of see how it sits with our weight load on our boat when we're out there. Okay, and this is where that 7/16 comes into play. And again, this is going to be something we can adjust as we, once we have it on our NuCanoe. Make sure this is nice and level and pushing straight and at the desired depth. But just to get this motor mount on here, we're not going to make it too tight. Okay, now that we have the NK-180 in the motor mount ready to go, we have a couple last steps here. One, we're going to put this nut, feed it back through. Ooh. So actually, first thing we have to do is put the remote receiver cord in there, and then we can put our positive and negative wires through. There we go. Okay, that'll line up with the nut, just like that. Okay, so that is good. Next thing is we're gonna want to re-wrap and put our plug back on. I'm gonna start with the plug. So to note, there's a rounded section on the plug. It lines up with the rounded section there. So there you go. So if we're looking at it like this, our positive is on the left, coming in. Okay, so it's going to come like that, put it through the rubber housing, the negative through the rubber housing. Another great time to use our pliers to gently pull it through. Okay. And now we're going to feed it up and in. It's the same process before, but it's in reverse. It's going to come up, over, and lock in on that plate. Same thing, the negative, up, over. If you have a hard time, like this negative's having a little bit of a hard time, grab your flathead, slide it up and over. There you go, it's locked in. Gently put this rubber guard back up. There you go. So, final step for this is to rewrap it. I didn't show you when you're taking it off. Essentially, it just kind of locks on like that, and then you're just wrapping. Just hand over hand all the way up. Okay, I personally like to leave a little bit of some spacing on my throttle attachment here. So this goes to your throttle. I leave it a little bit out. So you just pull it out of the wrapping and then keep wrapping past it. Okay, and there you have it. That's all put together. This is an NK-180 with all of its pieces removed and dropped into the QuickConnect motor mount. Again, number 7210, part of the QuickConnect mounting control kit with the QuickConnect. The next pieces we're going to want to bring with us, we will take this and go drop it onto the transom of a NuCanoe, but we're going to need our throttle cable and our extension cable. So how these go together, we'll show you here before we get to the boat, is so you have your positive, lined up with your positive, and there you go. This is great because you can disconnect your motor and leave this on your battery if you need to, and then this is dual-ended, one male, one female. Come over here, we have a female end. Line up your little prongs. You'll see there's a pattern on there. If we can, line those two patterns up. Twist the collar up. And there you go. You can run that. So let's go to the boat and put this on the back of our QuickConnect system. Okay, so as you'll see, we have our transom bracket on from our QuickConnect system on the back of our NuCanoe here. So what we're going to have to do, and again, we have some full videos on the QuickConnect install, but specifically looking at our motor mount here, bringing it up and in, you'll be lining up the holes on your transom plate with your motor mount. If you look down through the top, you'll be able to kind of see them all line up. Take your hex bolt, feed it down and through, thumb screw down on the bottom, and in. Now, instead of moving your hex bolt, you can just use your quick pin, take your motor off, and drop your motor back on. Sweet, and that is going to be getting your the NuCanoe the Newport Vessel NK-180Pro or the NK-300 into the NuCanoe QuickConnect mounting bracket here for the motor mount and onto your QuickConnect system. Coming up with those brackets. And the last step here is going to be taking your ball joint connector and connecting it so you have steering. Again, check out the video for the full QuickConnect install, but that is going to be this install right here. Thanks, guys.